Today, I'm going to show you how you can start a website that makes $40,000 per month, and we're starting right now. What is up? My name is Chris. Welcome to another video. If this is your first time here and you want to make money online, not just a little bit of money, but a lot of money, be sure to hit that subscribe button and tick that bell icon next to it so you don't miss anything. And before we get started, down in the description, I have put my #1 recommendation for making money online. It is a free video series that if you follow it step by step, you will have the potential of replacing your income totally with an online business. So be sure to go check it out down in the description. Okay, I am really excited about what we're going to be talking about today, how to start a website that makes $40,000 per month. And some of you might even look at that and say, how is that possible? A lot of people can't even make $40,000 in a year, yet we're making $40,000 in a single month. We're going to jump right into this. Oh, so $40,000 a month, is it possible? Here's some proof. All right, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to our browser here. And this is a website, Just a Girl blog, is Abby Lawson. And look exactly how she's making this money with her blog. So here at the very beginning, February 2014, she only made $2,000 basically from her blog. We're going to fast forward into a year. So February 2015, she was making $11,000 in that particular month. We're going to fast forward again another year to February 2016, and she was making $36,000 for that particular month in February. And now we're going to go ahead and jump to the last update that she had here in December 2016, and we can see here she made $41,700 just from her just a girl and her blog.com website. So definitely a perfect example here of how it is 100% possible to make $40,000 in a particular month from your blog. In fact, here in October she made $51,000, so it's kind of insane. So now we're going to talk about our next example here, John Chow. John Chow here says how I make a $40,000 a month from a blog. So again, right here, another perfect example of someone who's able to put their website together and actually make not just a little bit of money, but really a ton of money from it. And another example that we have here is of Yaro Starek. He's earning $50,000 a month from his blog while he's traveling. And in this article here, he kind of breaks down exactly how he was doing such. And really just another good example of someone who's able to make, you know, $40,000-$50,000 a month from the blog. So that's the proof right there. That's the proof in the pudding. So again, now the question is, how is he able to do this? How are all three of these examples of people able to make $40,000 a month, $50,000 a month while traveling just from their blog? Well, there are a lot of different types of ways that you can bring money in from a website, but the one that they use the most is affiliate marketing. So how in the world are they doing this? Well, let's go ahead and break down what affiliate marketing is. So basically with affiliate marketing, you partner yourself up with bigger companies who will then pay you a commission for any business that you send to them. So as an example, let's just say you had a favorite restaurant and you went to this restaurant every chance you had. Every time you had a chance or you had a few extra dollars, you were going to this restaurant because their food was just amazing. The service is great. Whatever it is, you just absolutely love this restaurant. But you started going there so much and you love it so much that the restaurant said, you know, anytime you send somebody to us and they buy a meal, we will give you $20 just for referring that person. So that seems like a legitimate request. I'm sure you've heard of that before, where someone will pay you a small fee just for sending them business. So imagine if you were to refer 5 people, you would make $100, which is pretty good. Now imagine you referred 10 people and now you've made $200, right? So now what if you referred 100 people? Now you've made $2,000. Now imagine doing that every day. You know, and all of a sudden you're making $2,000 a day from the restaurant because of all of this business that you're sending them. So that restaurant is going to naturally answer the question, where are you getting all of these people from? And that is exactly what we're going to get into today, how these people are leveraging the power of the internet and being able to send hordes of people to different products, and they're just getting a commission every time someone makes a purchase. That's basically what affiliate marketing is. So how do we leverage the power of the internet and make $40,000 plus per month? Well, we can do so in 5 simple steps. So we're going to go ahead and jump into number 1. Choosing a niche or an interest. Now this is really sometimes it can really get in people's way when they're trying to choose an interest, because an interest simply is something that you are interested in. Now some niches are more profitable than others, so that does make a difference at that case, but anytime you have a group of people, you are able to sell to them and you can actually make money with them. So a good way to kind of remember is that a niche is just that, a group of people. So an example, it wouldn't just be fitness. Fitness wouldn't be necessarily a group of people, but maybe fitness for who? Maybe fitness for kids, or fitness for parents, or fitness for single moms. Those are a few examples that you can see where you can do what's called niching down to try to get a smaller, more direct group that you can talk to through your website. So when choosing an interest, you want to get a nice small group of people and talk to them. Another thing that you want to keep in mind when it comes to choosing an interest is you want to choose something that has many things to promote. So for example, if you're into shoes, you might have shoes and then laces and then different types of cleaners and all of those kinds of things that you can really sell just because your interest happens to be shoes. Now, one thing here is to do not get stuck in this particular spot when it comes to choosing an interest. A lot of the people who I have helped build their first websites, a lot of times they get stuck on this niche part because they're so afraid of jumping into something and then it doesn't pay off. You can really monetize any audience that you can get as long as you can just get a group of people together who are willing to buy what you are promoting. And we're going to get more into that later. So the number 2 thing you need to do is buy a domain name. Now, a domain name is really important to have because it helps to build your brand. Now, for those of you who don't know, a domain name is something like Google.com is a domain, or Yahoo.com is a domain. It's basically whatever you type into the web address to get to a certain website. That's what a domain is. Now, when it comes to building your own brand, you remember you want to get to the point to where you become an authority in your particular area or your particular expertise. So one thing that you absolutely want to make sure that you do is make sure that your domain name is something that is brandable. And what I mean by brandable, I mean something that is easy to remember, it's easy to spell, and preferably go with a .com. I know it's not always possible to go with a .com, so other acceptable things that you can do would be a .net or a .org, but if you can get the .com, definitely go for the .com. However, I would totally stay away from things such as .xyz or .mobi or anything other than that. Stick with .coms. Another thing that you want to do is to avoid hyphens and numbers in your domain name, and I'll tell you why here. So this is a bad example of a site .com. You don't want a ton of hyphens in it like this because it breaks it up. Number 1, it doesn't look that great, and then number 2, it's really difficult to explain to somebody what your website is. Here's another example, 24example.com. Now, I'm not saying never to put a number into your domain names, but you have to think about what will happen when people are trying to go to your website. I'll go to my website, 24example.com. They might think, oh, should I spell out 24 or is it just a number 24? You know, when it comes to buying a domain name or naming your business, think of it like you're naming a child. You know, if you don't want to name your child something to where for the rest of their lives, every time they introduce themselves to somebody, they have to explain how to spell their name or how to say their name or anything like that. So think about it when it comes to naming a child. You would want to use that same kind of principle when buying your domain name. And another thing too, very similar to step 1, you don't want to get stuck here. A lot of times we run into people and students who are taking the course and they're like, you know what, I don't know what to choose for a domain name. I've been sitting here for 2 weeks trying to come up with it. You don't want to do that. It's much better to spend an hour, maybe 2 hours, just looking at different words, looking at different meanings of words, looking up synonyms or anything like that to come up with your domain name. But the one thing you don't want to do is get stuck there because you're going to create a hitch in your step there and you'll end up getting stuck and you won't be able to move on. So choosing a niche and coming up with a domain name should be something that could be done in a relative short period of time, a few minutes even. So please keep that in mind. So number 3, set up hosting. Now, to try to explain what hosting is like your house, and then the domain name is like the address. You use the address to get to the house, but then to get to the inside, you need something to host or to hold your stuff. And that's basically what hosting is. Now, in order to have a good host, you need to make sure that you have a good way to organize the information within your website. So imagine walking into a house that had no walls and no rooms and everything was just everywhere. It wouldn't make much sense, right? So the house will be broken up into different types of rooms and organized in a logical way. And one way in which you can organize your host is by using a content management system called WordPress. WordPress is by far the easiest way to build a website online. And literally, I believe about 90% of websites on the internet right now are WordPress sites. So everyone's doing it, and it's something that is very easy to do, which is why it's so widely accepted as being the best way to build a website today. Now, the company themselves, WordPress.com, they recommend using a company called Bluehost, and Bluehost is a very good place to host your website. In terms of pricing, when it comes to WordPress, you can see right here, it's very, very cheap over at Bluehost. We're talking $2.95 a month, and you can't really get much more cheaper than that to host your website. And remember that one of the best ways to host your website or to keep it organized is by using WordPress. And you see right here, Bluehost has a one-click WordPress install and 24/7 support. So again, I definitely would recommend Bluehost if you want to give them a try. I'll put a link down in the description to benjisdad.com/Bluehost. That is an affiliate link, so if you were to use it, we would get a small commission from it, but it doesn't come at any extra cost to you. But go ahead and check it out over at Bluehost. Bluehost is very good. Their uptime is really good, which means your site will be up 99.9% of the time. So definitely look into Bluehost. One thing I want to definitely tell you is to beware of cheap hosting. I can't really stress this enough. There's a lot of places out there that will say, hey, we can host your site for 1 penny, or we can host your site for 3 cents or something like that. You kind of want to be careful of places like that because you've heard it before, you get what you pay for. So if you end up signing up for one of these places and you put all of this hard work into your site and no one can get to it, then what's the point? You know, and really just think about it yourself. Maybe you've been on your phone or on a computer and you pull up a website, you go to Google, you Google your search term, you find, oh, this might answer my question, you click on it, and if it takes longer than 3 or 4 seconds to come up, you know, you're going to back out and go to the next result, right? Well, that's what you want to avoid, because that could have been a potential customer who's coming to your website. So definitely beware of cheap hosting, and a reason for that is because of a slow website. Now, when you're signing up for your web host, they're going to try to throw on a ton of extra stuff on you. But I'm going to tell you a trick right here as to what you actually need. First of all, you want to make sure that you get SSL. SSL is called Secure Socket Layer. It's one of those ways in which your website can send information from the user to the host very, very securely. It's gotten to the point to where Google themselves have a hard time ranking sites that do not have SSL. So be sure to sign up for the SSL. It may be an extra couple of bucks a month, but don't worry about it. It's really worth it. Another thing is the email option. Now, this is optional. A lot of web hosts offer you the ability to have your website or maybe your name at your website.com. This is actually kind of an optional thing. A lot of people that I know who run blogs, they really just use a Gmail account, which is free, you know, or their Yahoo account or something like that. You don't necessarily have to have an email. It does look good professionally, where you can tell somebody, hey, go to, you know, your name at website.com or something of that nature. So be sure to take advantage of that as well. And actually, one thing that I just thought of, when it comes to buying web hosting as well, make sure you get what is called the Who Is protection. Now, the Who Is protection is one of those things that you kind of definitely would want, because anytime you register a domain and then you set up the web hosting, you have to put in certain bits of information to identify who you are within the site. But this information is often made public. So if you put in your address and your phone number and your name, if someone were to pull up what's called the Who Is lookup, you'll see where you live, what your phone number is, and your name. And nothing negative really is going to happen from it, other than the fact that you're probably going to get bombarded with people selling you additional stuff and just that kind of thing. You can avoid the whole thing just by signing up for the Who Is protection. Generally, it's like a couple of extra dollars per month. It's no big deal. So that's a few of the things that I would recommend when setting up your domain name and your web host. So the number 4 thing that you want to do is you want to build an audience. And building an audience is really probably the longest part of this entire process. Coming up with the domain name and coming up with the web hosting, that can literally be done within a matter of minutes. However, building that audience can take a matter of months. So it's going to take a little bit of work on your part. No one said making $40,000 a month would be easy, but it is very much possible. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So the first thing that you're going to want to do when building your audience is you want to become an influencer. So as an example of an influencer would be like these huge celebrities who have their own Instagram accounts or have their own YouTube channels or anything like that, and they say, hey, go drink this tea or maybe try this particular dress that maybe they have on. I'm thinking about the Kardashians or something. When they wear that type of stuff, when they promote that kind of stuff on their social media, if people buy, they're going to get a commission from everything that they sell from the promotion on that particular social media page. They're going to also probably get a huge commission from the manufacturers as well, just for doing the actual promotion. Those people are using their influence to sell products. And because of the power of the internet, me and you, just regular, average, everyday Joes, can become influencers ourselves. So some ways in which you can become an influencer is to be personable, is to care for others. Really think of the people that you might follow right now on social media or on YouTube or something like that. 9 times out of 10, there are people who are willing to help people. There are people who are willing to give you, some tips or inside tracks on whatever it is that you're interested in, whatever it is that their niche happens to be. So you want to become that for your particular niche. Another proven way in which you can build an audience is by my favorite method, which is called blogging. So what you're going to end up doing is creating content about your specific niche. You can also use Google to see what people are talking about. You can use a website called trends.google.com, and it'll show you step by step exactly what really is going on in the world today. And you can find what's hot in your niche. You can find what's hot in your specific space. Some other ways in which you can find out what's hot in your niche is YouTube channels for similar niches, or maybe forums that you might frequent just to see what's going on, or other types of websites just to keep you, apprised of what the newest things going on in your niche is. What you then do is you blog about it. People come to your website from Google, and then you can monetize that traffic by promoting products to them. When it comes to blogging, some of the examples that you can use, we used the example of fitness earlier. So if you did health and fitness for kids, you would write a blog post such as the top 10 best workouts for kids, and just show the 10 and maybe give a little bit of a synopsis as to what each one does. And that's basically all you would have to do on the site. Do that over and over and over again for about 30 to 50 posts or so, and then see how much traffic you end up getting with that after a few months. If you're getting a good amount of traffic, you can now add to the site to increase your traffic, adding more blog posts, getting more and more in depth with your particular niche. It's not very difficult to do, but it is time consuming. But you only have to do it once, which is the best part about putting stuff on the internet. You put it out there once, and it's like hiring a little employee for yourself, and they go out on the internet, and anytime somebody finds them, it's you promoting yourself. It's you promoting products, and then you are going to be earning a commission from them when that customer buys. Another way that you can build an audience and sustain one is by using social media. Just think about all of the people, again, that you follow. YouTube is a form of social media. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. The more times that you have to engage with your audience, the more personal you will become with them, and then the more influence you will be able to have when you say, hey, I use this product, you should use it too. Click this link, and then you're going to be able to get a commission from that. Another way is email. Email is still a very good way to be able to monetize your audience, because you're going to be sending them emails anytime something cool happens within your niche. But if a new product comes out and you say, hey, I want you to go ahead and try this, you can send an email directly to people in their inboxes, and then they can read whatever it is you have to say. And if they buy something from you, then you are going to make money from it. So now that we have chosen an interest, now that we have bought the domain, we have the web hosting, and now we're working on building that audience, it is now time to monetize that audience. And when we say monetize the audience, we mean you can now make money on the amount of people that you have influence on. So how can you make money from the traffic or from the audience that you now have? Well, one thing that you can do is you can promote products that are related to your niche. So just for an example, if your niche was electronics for millennials, you can promote stuff like smartwatches, headphones, smart home equipment, etc. If you were maybe in the natural hair niche, you could promote combs, gels, oils, different supplements to promote hair growth. You know, these are really different types of products that you can promote. Remember earlier, we were saying how if you were able to find a niche, you want a niche that has a lot of products that you can promote, kind of like the example we used earlier. Now, you have to remember that this is a numbers game. So the bigger your audience, the bigger the payout will be. So for example, let's just say you found an affiliate offer or affiliate program that will pay you $20 every time you sent someone and they actually made a purchase. Imagine you had an email list of 10,000 people, which using, blogging and things of that nature, you can build up relatively quickly. So of the 10,000, you're telling me if I were to convince only 100 of them or 1% of them to buy, then you would end up making $2,000 from sending one email, or $2,000 for just recommending one specific product. So I hope you can see the power there, how quickly you can make money just by sending a few emails. It's really possible to do by leveraging the power of the internet and affiliate marketing. Now, affiliate marketing is not the only way in which you can monetize your audience. In my opinion, it is one of the best ways to do it because of a lot of different factors that we're kind of going to go over in a moment here. But other ways in which you can monetize your audience that a lot of people probably know about would be Google Ads. You can make a decent amount of money from Google Ads, but you wouldn't make as much as you would from affiliate marketing. As an example, I know someone who's making about $2,500 a month from the traffic or the audience that continually comes to their website. I don't want to kind of sweep it under the rug that $2,500 isn't that much money, because depending on your situation, that's a ton of money. However, the amount of money in comparison to how much you could make with affiliate marketing is not even close. So Google Ads and AdSense would be some of that supplemental income that you can have, or another income stream that you can have for your site, but it's definitely not something that you would want to concentrate on. Another way in which you can monetize your audience is by creating your own product. So you can write your own ebook or use Teachable.com, where you can put together your own little course on whatever it is that your niche is about. You can put together a course and then sell it. People are information junkies. They love to learn, which is why YouTube is such a great place to be. But you can go to a place like Teachable and create your own content. As an example, if you were into the natural hair thing and maybe you do 10 different steps that makes your hair look great, you can put that together step by step, how you did so, in an ebook, or like we mentioned on Teachable.com, and then you can turn around and sell it for $15 or $500. It really doesn't matter. It just kind of depends on how valuable the information you think that you are putting together would be to someone else. Now, there is a drawback to creating your own product that something that affiliate marketing doesn't have, is that you have to deal with disgruntled customers. So let's just say you did make it $500 and you took that money and you're like, hey, we're doing great. I created this book and I was able to sell it for $500. But then what if someone didn't like the content and you're like, you know what, I want a refund? You'd be on the hook of having to either explain that you can't give the refund or that you need to give the refund. And then you have to think about the repercussions on your business. If you refuse the refund, then are you going to get bad press, or are they going to write negative reviews about you? It's a lot of stuff that you have to kind of consider when you have your own product. However, with affiliate marketing, you don't have to worry about that kind of thing, because if someone buys from you through something like Amazon or whatever, you don't have to worry about returning products, because if they don't like it, they're going to send it back to Amazon. You as the affiliate marketer are 100% free from it. So that's just another example of what you can do when it comes to affiliate marketing. I personally will recommend affiliate marketing because you're kind of standoff with it. You kind of make the sale and then you move on. So in order to avoid all of the drawbacks that do kind of come from creating your own product, especially as a beginner, I would definitely say to focus on just affiliate marketing now, and then maybe creating your own product down the road once you have built that audience. In fact, over at benjisdad.com, I'll go ahead and pull it up right here. benjisdad.com. I'll be sure to put a link down in the description. This is the #1 recommended way that I believe is the best way to build your own business and make money online through the use of affiliate marketing. It is a ridiculously simple money-making learn-to-earn training guide. It's a video series that I put together just for you guys to check out. So I really hope that you go check it out over at benjisdad.com. You're going to punch in your email address and say, get trained now. You know, within a few minutes, you're going to have your own website on the internet, you know, ready to start making those commissions. So go ahead and check it out over at benjisdad.com. So I've really enjoyed what we've been talking about right here. If you liked it as well, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you think it sucked, you know what to do. Before taking off, please be sure to like and share this video as well with your family and friends so that others can make money online just like you. So if you want to make money online, not just a little bit of money, but a lot of money, be sure to hit that subscribe button that should pop up right about here. Check out the latest video on the channel, which should be right above my head, and I will catch you all later.